What a mess, what a mess, what a mess. Good morning, folks. It's 7:17 a.m. on July 3rd, 2025. Yeah, look at all the squares out here. It's very evident the geoengineering it's very much impacting New Zealand today, from this big square haze here off the coast to the beams that I showed you earlier that came out. Well, I didn't show you the Christchurch one. It came out like this. This came out like this. What it's done is pin the flows, and in a big way. I'll show you. Should be able to do this with just a mouse. Actually, I can do it with my finger. Right. Let's zoom this up. Right. You had a Nexrad that I showed you, and one that I haven't yet. Do something. Okay. So let's draw some lines here. It came out like this. This one here did this. And it came from right about there. It came out in a fan. Right? About like that. Some of you people were watching it. I'm just learning how to do this with my finger from the station that was right over there. This one came out like this. Kind of like that. This one here came across from in here down. So what it had the effect of doing is controlled the wind, right? As this stuff was coming down coast, I don't change colors. Clean and green. This is coming down from the tropics and it's warm. This is rotating in this direction here towards the rising sun. This is hotter, so this is rotating like that, and it's kicking up a lot of cold air here, right? The impact of the momentum of this coming in is thwarted by this, and so it tends to take a path like that, and it fuels big winds. And what was coming down here is directed right in through here and here. There's a gap, and the wind through here is actually roaring because it's hitting all three lines of perturbation as what's going on. And they use the Nexrads to control that aspect of the weather modification required to do this storm. And if we're fortunate, we can get that image back up that I had a few hours ago. You'll see. You know, these are those radar rays from Christchurch. And we're going on for quite a while. You see it all over here. Do I need to actually draw all those lines for you? Because I'd be happy to. Because when it comes to correlation, you know, I sometimes feel that the government is stupid, or maybe thinks we are. You know, because they can't just draw these lines from here straight to a radar station. So allow me to do that for you. Might be quicker if I do it with my mouse. All right, let's do that again with the lines. And then I'm going to show you the forecast, and then I'm going to exit the scene. Right? This is all pointed right at an Nexrad station here. All these radar rays, they're intersecting. I ain't inventing these. I ain't inventing that line. You just see a correlation here of how these things can be more to one layer of the atmosphere, and it will influence your weather, right? These radar beams. Looks like you have a ship right here. Can you see that little V? It's something different. It's something located right over here. Boop. Located right there. So you got lots of devices being used, and even this beam goes way out. So you got weather modification going on in New Zealand, even though they think they're hiding it on the map. I see what you did, and I know them are oppressors, and I know what they do. They make money off many things, and selling you climate change and chaos is one of them. And again, you get the radar rays poking off the coast here, very evident. Yep, very, very evident in the winds and the damage being caused by these controlling these flows of these huge rivers of moisture that are moving about, as you'll see here. I'll run it on fast. All this from the tropics is all meat and all that. And you guys got some terrible totals coming. You have a very wet 14-day period coming. A couple days in between each batch, but it's batch on batch, and they're brewing up another again. Here's some of your Kanban cyclone seasonings. There's no thing as a bomb cyclone, but there are chem bombs and fueling up conditions that mimic the natural temperature and pressure differences required to make such storms exist. Yeah, even though it's cold, like I said, to make the temperature and pressure differences exist. And that's how they control a lot of the flows. And microwaves can heat. A laser can actually slow a molecule down and cool things. How about that one? So it's not always heat. And what is these catalysts producing? Is it something cold? Is it something hot? And that needs to be determined as well, because we pick up the SO2 plumes out at sea a lot of times, and oxides of nitrogen in places where you don't see the traffic and stuff where you would expect to produce such things naturally. I can see here you got radar on here, here, and here. Even though you hide it from the feed, I can see what is going on. And again, that tongue of cold air is still up there. It's being pinned, all the flow is being pinned by these microwaves into the trough right here. See that right there behind you, Sydney? I think some waveforms going through Penrith and all that. Well, you bet your ears ringing there, huh? Cambam in Canberra, Cambam in the Bruce. Look at all this crap. And the beans coming down coast is bringing another batch in to this corner, so it isn't quite over yet. See this backflow here? It really toxified the skies over at Tassie today. And I got to point out how many directions of the wind are blowing here. Is it going that way? Is it going this way? Is it going that way and that way? Or perhaps these are just geoengineered conditions in a very high altitude of the atmosphere, much higher than your jet plane's going. Okay, so its fallout is condensatable. Its particles, nano or otherwise, are condensatable. All you need is the jet engine or the hot enough exhaust to do it. And why are these things lasting all day? Why are these marshmallow clouds in the sky all the time? These are not round, puffy, spitting supercells. And even if I look right in the center of this one, I might can get a good zoom if I do this. Are we even running? We'll have to check in a moment. I'll turn on my phone. Let's see. No, I want that. Look at this. Look at the squarenesses of these. Right, these ain't round cells. And you see these dots in the center right here? Just pick them up. Those are the triple chem bomb plume. Boom, boom, boom. Something's fizzing off over here, making some kind of cloud deployment. See the squareness of these? These ain't round supercells out to sea. Look at the line. Look how evenly spaced they are. That would be like right there. It's just geoengineering, you know. The only thing missing is a protest sign here of the sadness of the Mother Earth seeing what you're doing to the ocean. Yeah, you need to control the drought out there, don't you? Numbnuts. Yeah, so you can see even in these deployments here, the chemical catalyst needed to either propagate the waveform or condensate moisture is there. And the main action is right here. See the parentheses? There's got to be a ship here. Or it's over one of the weather modification islands, which I don't see marked on the map, so I'm going to have to make an assumption that there's a vessel of some kind, geoengineering your weather there. So I'm going to take a moment to see if it's actually running live, because sometimes it doesn't. Yes, it says it is. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, Canberra Blue, yeah, away. I can actually see comments now. You poor folks in New Zealand. Fires on the ground line up around the countryside also. Yeah, Not going to get into the fires today. It's very depressing. Look at this line shoot out here. Watch. Right through here. So we can catch it again. Right here. There's EMF perturbation going on, hitting the backside of this storm, pushing it that direction as the heated outflow of that line rushes toward the air, which would have to be cooler near there. What's in the center of this looking like a Eucharist or a Maltese cross? Or that piece of jewelry that Anunnaki guy was wearing at the museum. July 3rd, fireworks for everybody. Total geostorm, total geostorm, total smash. Yep. The Illuminati's greatest shits. Look at this shit. This giving me the shits. Bzzz, getting fried, Kiwi style. Here you go. Let's have a look. You see that big line of blown out clouds just like that radar ray was doing? Weather manipulate much? It's just a total smash. Total Canberra miss. Is this how you treat your land? Is this what you want to do to your ancestors? What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see the radar sweat here? See it? See the haze difference in the plasma? See it right here between that line and that line? See the difference? That's Hamilton radar doing that one. I recognize its signature. It's right. I've been to class long enough to recognize the signatures of the students. Look at this here. You don't tell me that ain't a geoengineer mess with a just high in the middle. Or did they write mall? Hey, mall. Nyuk, 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 nyuk. Kind of a thing. Well, a laser by proxy is EMF. It's part of the electromagnetic spectrum. Frequency is a pulse rate. Cycles per an amount of time. I'm just pointing at obvious square forms in these clouds here. You want to see the smash? Hi, let's just make everybody down here cough and say there's some kind of new illness. That ain't a cow farting this up in the sky, I'll tell you that. The cow jumped over the moon. Get out of here. Just because it makes a noise don't mean it's Mr. Methane. You really. Hey, look at that there. No. Did Batman drop his mask? No. Chem bombs. How about the eye of Horus? Or is that the wascally rabbit looking at you? Follow the white rabbit. Don't take any of the pills they offer you. Red or blue, they got the dupe juice. If you're awake, prove it by getting out of bed and do something about it. If you see something you dislike, fix it. Why is this color cloud different than that one? That's really high in the atmosphere, because that's going over the top of that. Like somebody dropping a honeycomb hideout there or something. Look at that shape. Boom, 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 boom. You could make it 2 equilateral triangles in that cloud. Yep. Engineering. Hello. As we get into your French curves and squares and using a compass to build the New World Order with a bunch of nanoparticles. 1 grain of salt at a time on the earth will kill your crops. Look at this crap out here. You told me that's natural? From the ground you probably seen fog. You might have assumed that was round, but it wasn't. Yo, my old folk out there, they're poisoning you. They're killing you, mate. I'll tell you plain as day. White man coming for you again. Captain's cooking you microwaves. Yep, plain as day. See this here? Look up Operation Popeye. Look up deployments of Agent Orange, Vietnam, and you'll see clouds that look like this in the imagery. If they don't get erased from history, of course, because that happens too often when you want to hide imagery. 101010, with the bits of biting out of Mother Earth's ass here, and this is out here in beautiful, beautiful waters. And it's poison in their fish. It's poisoning the fish eat. It's poisoning your clam. Do you want to eat a poisoned clam? No, I don't. Why is the light refraction of this cloud so much different than this one? Why does this look like there's a forest fire out at sea? Because it's a sulfur deployment. If they hit this with microwaves and it glows, we'll know exactly what chemical it is. Just like somebody did a crisscross pattern like a drone could fly and left just fly swatter in the sky there. Or have they just wrote Heil? Oh, I can't quite tell. Yes, it's just horrendous to look at the geoengineering that's going on. Bzzz, fryers adding a penis insula over there. Nothing to see here, folks, in the K corridor. You just happen to fall in that gap today. How we looking at it? How we looking over here in the Vanuatu? Because they've got so much microwaves going on here. Ain't no flow going on through the straits down here in the Solomons. Shut. Microwave shut. Yep. And then good old Zealand. Where's old Zealand anyhow? And again, square farms, fueling your wind. Why is it windy? Because microwaves set up barriers that the wind, like against going down an avenue, you can create a city. Certain avenues stay windy. Well, you can create those corridors with squares that do that and channel the winds. So when your barn blows down and your chicken eggs are flying about, egging windows of houses you don't even get to pick, be thinking about those beams and be thinking about what's coming. And it's just more of the same. It's not like that big batch of rains you had before, but it's not going to be a pleasantry for you guys to go through. So let's just do it. Right, here's what's coming now. This is up to the moment. This is about a half hour ago when a big batch just came over New Plymouth and impacted the gash. That's squall one. Winter weather coming up through the spine, so watch yourself on your travels today if you're stupid enough to go through the passes. But it's really going to be a huge North Island event here. Yeah, well, the borders of the Cook Strait as they stop the condensates from passing through the strait so this low can walk over the top of the North Island rather than just pass over like Westport and go out towards Watangi Island over there. Nah. That's EMF has fueled a barrier or caused a flow blockage to occur. And it's increasing your winds, man. It's not pleasant to have to show you every day as we go through the weekend. I don't want to do a full-on super duper forecast, but at this point I have to go over here and have a mention to the people down south here. I can get both of you on. Perth, right, you can get a bit wet down the corner. Bustletown, Albany. You expect a lightning storm coming in through the overnight hours of Sunday into Monday morning early hours. Yep. Expecting Adelaide, you're going to get a smack. You're going to get an absolute smack right up the wazoo here coming on. Well, let me do this in my head. You try doing time zones in your head all the time. This is your afternoon rush hour, Port Lincoln, and all that. It's going to be stinking in Lincoln, man. Windows going to be rattling in Adelaide. You have different kind of rattling that day, your overnight hours as it moves through. It's going to take a big beam across your country to pin this to the south over Canberra, where I'm expecting wintry mix. Yeah, so all our campers and stuff going down there, make sure you got your snorkel. Balaclavas on, man. Got to keep your chin warm. Oh, that looked like a face. Oh, man, winter. Look at it like a face over here. Face it, man. Geoengineering's planning winter time to show up in winter, and all that chem's going to fuel this. Oh, it's going to take some nasty mix to do this and some big beams. And about the same time, I said I wasn't going to do it a long time. Hi, have another batch. Wet, windy weather, New Zealand. Wet, windy, geoengineered weather for the world. Wet, windy, weather. Yeah, that kind of shit. Right, today's gusts. So now for today's gusty report. Yeah, surf's up all along this coastline. Right? You big gusts, you can blow you right off your board. It's gonna be one of them days to watch the kites, surfing people. It's gonna be something to see. Yeah, it has these perfect conditions for that, you guys over there. Yeah, but really the damagers is this. I mean, look at these winds, these gusts. And on the northern sides of these mountain ranges here are really going to catch the most condensates and are going to catch the biggest gusts as things whip through these valleys. It's not going to be a pleasant thing to for you guys to have to experience. You don't want to have been camping down there if you took my advice. It move to a bit higher ground, but I tell you, you don't want to be here during some of these events. And then as we move into Saturday, you got another big winds coming. Some of the winds um, through the strait over the next 24 hours are going to be a bit higher than they're showing here. These are the gusts, right? That's high. That's fair high. This here, that's no go zone. That's where things in your yard fly and hit your neighbor's house because you weren't kind enough to bring it in. Nothing's going to happen to me. It's been many words said by someone that someone happens to. Right, that's some of your offshore winds. I'll be happy when I see these storms go away. It's been very relentless for me for the past 25, 30 days, one after the other. Of these storms you're not supposed to be able to predict, but when you could read the chem and you understand how EMF works, it's very easy to tell what your weather is. And it's very easy to say, well, if I lived here, I might want to go outside today because of all these chemtrails. You know, is this how we're treating a national park? As things are being treated savagely. Is this how a bunch of maniacs would treat Tasmania? Yes, it's like they don't give a shit. Or maybe they want you sick, not able to do stuff. So the robot kid, I don't know, I can't figure that out. Weaver's Creek, they weaving a web of lies. Lies always unravel. And well, all it takes is one match of freedom and light in the heart of the right person to burn a spiderweb down. Look at the squareness to this here. I'm just pointing out obvious geoengineering. Something here deployed in a circle. Boom, boom, boom. Easy enough to send fireworks in a circle. Okay, that area is covered. Next. Drone it up. Have a platform on a balloon they can land on and charge. I could think of many methods. It's turning out to be very likely as more research comes out from other wonderful researchers out here. Because I'm not the only one doing this, thank God. Because I'm getting tired, boss. Very, very tired. Tired of people not playing nice. Tired of describing colors to the blind. It's hard to say, hey, look, something going on here that's not natural. Hey, look, I think we're being killed. You feel like Chicken Little telling people the sky is fallout. The sky has fallout. Well, it fucking does. From coast to coast, from top to bottom, from here to there. And this is my air. This is what I had yesterday. Yay for me in the park. Yay. Oh, fried squirrel at John Lennon Airport. If we could just give it a rest instead of give peace a chance. Let's remember war sucks and war upon our mother is the worst. Let's see if we can find a gap. Maybe here. Maybe today is the day I zoom in and see no geoengineering at all on my screen. Oh, God, Santiago. You know, I can't say you. Ooh, wow. I saw another blue gate. Wait a minute, that's chemtrail. Plain as day. Chemtrail. Chemtrail. But if this stuff is above where the jet was flying, the jet didn't leave that trail. The jet condensated whatever's in this crap. Would you consent to that? Pulse wave here. It's not a natural mountain range doing it. It's microwaves. Yeah, you always worried about Paraguay and all these. Oh, we're safe up here. No, we're not. The entire world is getting fried. The entire world is getting sprayed. And what goes up must come down. And well, until we see what's going down, will never fix what's coming down. Heart-shaped cloud that breaks my heart to see. This is Florida. Today is the 3rd of July here. It is now after midnight. It is supposed to be illegal after this moment to spray Florida with chemtrails or a chemical. So I'm looking for today's imagery to see what's going on. Has it happened yet? So today's an enforcement day. And if you do see him, what does that mean? It means it has a permit to do it. And we have fires. These are fires. If we're lucky, I can do a quick moment of fires for you guys. Yeah, I have it all pulled up. It's just, it takes a lot of data to run that. So I have to get rid of a few that at least. Okay, let's see what roads they write. It's going to be slow. And let that move. Oh, it's mighty gritty. Yep. See if there's any difference in the night and the day. Yes. Come on, man. Biden would say, come on, man. Can't tell me they ain't trying to land grab over here in Canada. How much did they owe the New World Order? Did they borrow from Bill and Bill wants some land? Do they want your land? I don't know. Because we belong to the land. And at the end of your days here, the land's going to prove that by taking you back in some form. Yeah, they're burning the Caribou Flats. So anything that was in that square did not get much warning, and I don't know what direction it would run to stay safe. All of Canada, yeah, this is July 2nd. This is my last image I have. Sometimes you, like I say, you click off the day and the night, and you'll see differences. You'll see more out of the geometry of it. It's like, okay, Ralph, what do we need next? And it's a terrible burn. And that smoke is now going over other people's houses, so these people here have to breathe Canada's crime. But if we look at it like that, we're fucking up. We got to see this whole planet. We got to see it as not your flag, not my flag, but as a planet that we're a part of. And if we want to be a part of things, we got to decide, do we want to be assholes or do we want to be cool? You know, that's up to us. I want to be cool. And cool looks after things, right? Cool don't put up with no shit. And sometimes even finds you got to put the smack down. And I think sometimes I don't see enough smack down. But I hear a lot of talk and smack. And yeah, you got some fires out here. Yeah, but it's nothing I can look at and say, oh, look at that distance, all the same. But my micrometer, my eyeball says that distance and that distance and that distance and that distance are fairly the same. I want to find out real quick. You've had your 4Ks. Oh, I didn't do your totals. Huh. I don't know, just pick one of these. It's about a mile. Not quite. So this should go to about 3. Yeah, those distances are the same. I'd say that those points are equidistant. Stop it. Anyways, I've had enough. Clicking it off now. Giving you your totals. You know, I'm exiting this scene. My hand hurts. That's enough. There you go. There's your 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. All we really want to know is what's coming in the next few days. And like I said, less. Wind is the story. And the beams did it. My gosh. I had a dream the other night that a big golf club came and it smacked the Nexrads off of all their stands while I heard, "Floor! Mother Earth!" Yeah, that's what we got to do it for. There's your totals. Ain't nothing huge, guys. Ain't nothing you can't contend with, so that is all. With it said, with it done, tell the system, kiss your bum. Big love, stay safe. Peace.